Hey everyone, exciting news. We've officially launched the Paranoid Perspective Patreon. If you love what we do, unpacking conspiracies, chasing mysteries, and laughing through the weirdness, now you can support the show and get more of it.
So, for as little as $5 a month, you will get exclusive access and extra perks to the episode. Sarah, what do we get with Tier 1?
So, Tier 1 is the Curious Minds, and you get a shout out at the end of every episode.
Next tier, this is what you guys really probably want. Ad-free episodes. We don't need those pesky ads that you guys are getting on Spotify, Apple, whatever else. You will get all episodes ad-free along with what else, Sarah?
You'll also get it ahead of time. So before the episode releases for that week, it'll be available for you to watch or listen.
So if you guys are interested, check in the show notes down below, or you can head to patreon.com/the Paranoid Perspective Podcast. Welcome back to the Paranoid Perspective. I'm Jake.
And I'm Sarah.
Today we're going to talk about something that probably a lot of people might not know about. And it's kind of nefarious. And it's not woo. I promise it's not woo. Sarah, are you familiar with dead peasant insurance?
Only because of you. I'm not really sure.
Dude, I was listening to another podcast about 2 weeks ago, and somebody brought it up, and they briefly talked about it. And I was like, there's no way this is true.
Yeah.
And started doing some research. Nope. It's fucking true. So, for listeners that may not know, dead peasant insurance is an informal and quote-unquote somewhat controversial term for corporate-owned life insurance, or COLI. Now, I'm going to say that quite a lot, so if you hear me say COLI, it's the corporate-owned life insurance. That's the acronym we're going to use. And really, here's what it means is if they have access to any, like your information, i.e. you work for them, so they have your social security number, they have your name, they have, I mean, pretty much anything that you would need to file a life insurance policy with, they have access to, because you have to have it to be employed through these companies.
Yeah. Wow.
And anybody can take out a life insurance policy on anyone.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what with a little caveat to that, with the adequate information. So you have to have, like I just said, like actual information as far as like names, addresses, social security, birthday, like stuff, but stuff that your employer most likely has record of, just because of your employment, right?
Right.
And at surface value, like at surface level, like it seems like you said, why would anybody really want to do this, right? It doesn't, I mean, at the end of the day, like it's not really that much money. If you think about like people that have died in your life, you know, like you have life insurance and it covers it. But the thing is, if it's owned by the corporation, they're not paying the bill for anything. They're just collecting the fucking money. You know what I mean?
That's insane. They shouldn't be able to use your information like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll kind of get into a little bit of like loopholes and some legal trouble that certain corporations have had here in recent years, but it's still technically illegal if I remember correctly. Now, ethically, morally, yeah, we're kind of on some shaky ground here, but as far as legally goes, I'm almost positive it's still legal. So let's kind of get into a little bit of the back history of this. So what was it originally used for? It was originally intended for key executives or owners that might suddenly die and financially harm the company. So we're talking about key players in a company. That way, you know, they had this corporate-owned life insurance, and it wouldn't be like, holy shit, the owner just died. Or holy shit, one of these, you know what I mean? Like, what are we going to do? We don't have anybody to fill this role. Right. So it seems like from the research that I did, it wasn't a nefarious thing off the bat, but we all know.
Usually, I feel like it's usually not.
Right. And it got to the point in like the 80s and 90s where companies were like, hang on a second, if we can like rank and file employees like our janitors, our clerks, and we
Mhm.
can actually like profit from their death. And the real fucked up part was a lot of these people that they were targeting were like people that were obese, people that they knew had like health conditions. And like, so yeah, you're going to pay into a life insurance policy for a little while, but it's not going to be like their entire life. They're like
Right.
high likelihood of them dying. So that's the even more fucked up part. Like you're
Yeah.
particularly targeting individuals that have a higher mortality rate. Like,
Yeah,
man,
that's insane.
dude, it's fucking nuts. But in all honesty, you know, I've had a lot of people, and I've talked to people work about this, and I kind of came up with like three like drivers of why people would do this. Right? You get a tax-free payout. Death benefits aren't taxed,
Mhm.
and it's free money once that person dies. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, a lot of these places will have like um, financing employee plans that fall under that, corporate life insurance. I mean, you could very well have one right now and not even know about it.
Yeah.
Just
And you
based
gotta
off of
look.
something you signed up for and when you started working
Right.
for your company. Um, and a lot of these are used to say like we're funding benefits like health and pensions and stuff like that. So, you can kind of have a little bit of a loophole where it's like, well, it's not really, we're not really getting life insurance policy from like the employees are paying for it. You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
sort of thing.
Mm.
And the last thing that I kind of gathered from like all this that I was looking at was a lot of these business owners and a lot of these like high up corporate execs, they're like literally hedging risk and profiting. Like that's their goal, right? So if they could borrow against any policies and balance investments, even profit if an insured employee died. Like that's what they're doing. They're
Right.
creating they're hedging their bet against somebody that could possibly fucking die. Like I think that is really what kills me about this stuff, man. It's so nasty that
Yeah.
corporations would be doing this. And I don't think I don't think a lot of people would realize that it's happening. I mean, how would you?
Yeah. Like, do you ask HR? Like, do you have a policy out on me? Like,
I,
what? How do you
well,
get?
yeah, I don't even know how you would go about asking that. Like, would HR even know?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, who gets the actual policy? Like the CEO's doing it, or?
Well, there were a few cases. One was through a company called Winn Dixie. I'm not really familiar with what it was.
Mm.
Um,
Sounds familiar.
I know it does sound really familiar, but I was just looking at what actually like how they got caught, not what the business was. I guess I should have looked into that more, but um, the reason this dead peasant insurance got coined is because they were trading emails back and forth referring to these policies as dead peasant email or insurance, like back
Right.
and forth between these fucking corporate execs. So once again, how evil and nasty is that
Yeah.
you just want to I can't I mean I get it. I understand that it's in human nature to have that like money and power and just want more and more and more, and once you start to get some you just want more and more and more. But man, this is like really fucked up.
Right. Yeah. That's really bad. That I mean that they're emailing each other about like,
And
hey, set
joking
this
about it.
up. Right. Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like you don't even like don't get me wrong. Listeners, I work a 9 to 5 right now for a major corporation. I am well aware that they do not give a fuck about me. I get it. But at the same time, this is a whole new level of I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah. This is like, I don't know, so much worse. If I found that out, I would like quit. Well, can
Yeah,
they keep? I mean,
but that's the thing.
even if you quit,
I think they still have a life insurance policy out on you.
right?
If they're
What
paying
the?
for it, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Ugh.
their policy. So I don't think there's like anything you as an individual can do to get that life, like, why would you ask them to, like, hey, I don't want this company to pay you any more money, life insurance company? They're gonna be like, no, we're
Yeah.
okay. You know?
Right. Yeah, they don't care either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, it's, I don't know, man. But
Yeah,
there are a
how do
few.
you like prevent this?
I,
You can't.
work for yourself, but that's well easier said than done. But I mean,
Yeah. We're trying.
yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there, Sarah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some notable cases. Okay, so speaking of major corporations, Walmart, 93 into the 2000s. I actually do have a case from 2010 that we'll get into a little bit, but just like a quick overview of kind of what they did in that time frame. So they insured over 350,000 full-time employees.
350,000?
350,000. That
Wow.
is unbelievable. And
That
you
has
know
to be
what?
like someone's full-time job or something.
Right. There is someone at corporate that is
Yeah.
literally, that is their job. They are the dead peasant farmer or whatever you want to call that title. They're picking out the people. But see, once again, the company self-insured and named itself as the beneficiaries with no employee notice. So they literally just took their information,
Right.
set up a life insurance policy for each of these individuals, and didn't give them any notice. And Walmart was the sole beneficiary.
That is so gross.
Yeah. So internal communications, once again, even joked, referring to dead peasants.
Really? That's crazy. I feel like someone should be able to do a class action lawsuit or something.
Well, there were some lawsuits that were filed, and
Okay.
Walmart settled multiple class action lawsuits and faced IRS challenges on any of the tax deductions that they had. So there was some legal recourse that happened. And ultimately, they dropped the entire practice in the mid 90s after heavy criticism. But let's go to this originally published article on May 7th, 2010.
Okay, great.
Walmart got money when 132 Florida employees enrolled in a corporate-owned life insurance program that ended up dying, and Walmart had collected that money. So once again, they used a loophole. Yes, they're not allowed to do it without your quote unquote consent, but that's not really you consenting. It's more of
Right.
like, hey, we have this program where it helps us give benefits and different things like that. Really, what it was a the company names itself the beneficiary on policies that were bought in the name of the rank and file employees. Walmart said they stopped this practice in 2000.
Yeah, okay. You can't trust any corporation saying, "Oh, we're not doing it anymore." Like,
Right. Um, Aline Moss, she represented Walmart. She said it had paid more than 15 million to settle class action dead peasant suits in Texas, Oklahoma, but in Florida, she argued the law was on Walmart's side. So in two other states,
wow.
they had already, dude, like that's what I'm talking about. And this is an article published in 2010.
Right.
So they
Yeah.
supposedly stopped, according to, one source in the 90s. And then in this, they supposedly stopped in the 2000s. And then here we are in 2010 hearing the same shit again. So you think for a second they fucking stopped. No, they're just finding other fucking loopholes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
and, and,
no.
and that's the other thing. Like, I can't imagine, and I don't get me wrong, I understand there are defense lawyers for everything. People that do heinous acts, and there are people appointed in place to give them their day in court because that is their right. They get a fair trial. It's already been proven in two other states.
Right.
Like, oh,
Yeah, prove it in all 50 states.
well, I suppose that's true. But I mean, once again, to say that, oh, we don't do this no more. Oh, we don't. Nope, nope.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
no, 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 we
No,
don't
no,
do
not
this.
not in this state.
Not in this state. No,
We don't do
no.
it in this state anymore.
Walmart would never do this in Florida.
Right. Not again. Not
Not
anymore.
again. Not again.
Right,
We
yeah.
stopped in the 90s. Remember, we don't do this anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But what I can't get over is the 350,000 employees between
Yeah.
93 and 2000. Like, that is insane.
That is insane. I feel like that's more than one person's job then.
Like, I mean, I should have been more prepared. Let me see. Well, what a typical life insurance policy would probably pay out. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to sit here and Google it. It's not good podcasting. But I'm going to assume anywhere from $250 to $500,000. Do you think that's probably
yeah,
a pretty good range of most life insurance policies?
probably. Yeah.
So you're looking at $1 billion industry that you can get just off of insuring these fucking people. And honestly, do you think the monthly payment you have to pay for that life insurance policy is putting a dent in these major corporations? Nope.
I mean, Amazon's got to be doing it too.
Oh, 100%. Everybody's got to be doing it. If one
Yeah.
person is, everybody is. Because these people all talk. They all, you know, I don't know. So there was another one. I'm not familiar with either one of these companies. Camelot Music and Philippe Tillman. Not sure.
I don't know.
They insured only 1,400 full time, and collected around $340,000 off of that 1,400. So if you're looking
Wow.
at the difference between 14,000 or 1,400, I'm sorry, and 350 fucking thousand, that's a shit ton
Yeah.
of money. Shit ton of
Wow.
money that these people are making. The only thing was, this was one of those, though. I guess Philippe Tillman was one of the key staff, so I think it was set up in the case the event of his death.
Mm.
So I think there was originally with that company at least, like, hey, we gotta insure this dude just in case, we
Right.
don't want the company to go under. But then I think, they started getting greedy with that, extra 1,400 employees.
Yeah.
But in that case, his estate actually sued under Oklahoma law under insurable interest. I'm not sure exactly what that was. But apparently they had a concealed policy that he didn't know about. So it was one of those where he didn't even know what was happening.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So what, like the board did it or something? Or?
I'm assuming whoever, like,
Yeah.
the stockholders or the board of directors or whatever. I'm not familiar with the Camelot Music. I'm not sure what that is. But the 10th Circuit found that Camelot Music did have an insurable interest because it invested in its employees, quote unquote.
This just pisses me off. Like,
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
just
This
makes
is
me
such
so
fucking
mad.
bullshit.
like,
dude.
yeah. Like, what the hell?
Because like, I don't care what anybody says, and working for some of these corporations is just fine. I'm not talking shit if you're an employee that works for one of these corporations. I am talking shit if you're one of these corporate executives that is fucking still doing this shit. That is 100% what I'm doing. Because, yeah, there are plenty of corporations. Like I said, I work for a major corporation, and they pay me enough to, have a home and provide for my family. Awesome. But I also understand that this shit happens so frequently now that I've actually dug into, like this is one of those, like, where I thought it was just a conspiracy theory, or I thought it was just somebody being a weirdo. And the more and more and more I started digging into it, I was like, what in the actual fuck is happening? Like, there is no way.
And it's everywhere.
Everywhere. It has to be. It has to be.
Oh, I'm going to ask. How do I ask? I gotta talk to the CEO. Be like, listen here, man.
Yeah. Hey, I need to know right now if I have any corporate owned life insurance policies out on me. Right meow.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, I doubt. I don't know. My company's only, that like I don't, how many is that? Like 14,000 employees. Like they could have on every single person.
They could. They very
I
well
mean, I don't
could.
know if they would, I guess.
Why
'Cause
wouldn't
like you
they?
said, they're probably targeting, well, the longer you're gonna live. So maybe they only go after older people or
I
you don't
think
want to
that,
pay forever on someone's.
well, but are you really paying that long? And people die every day. You know
But
what I mean? Because it doesn't matter how you die. It just
well,
matters that
yeah.
you die. I mean,
Oh my God, and then they kill you.
uh, dude, I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you.
And they overwork you until you have a heart attack at your desk.
It's all part of the plan. All the
That's the
stress, all the
conspiracy. Yeah.
bullshit, all the fucking,
Right.
hey, you did a really great job, but it's just not quite good enough. We need you to try harder.
Right.
You know, we need to move the needle. Okay.
Oh
Always
yeah.
constantly going forward. Okay. Our
Yeah, you
bottom
have to
line,
continuously grow,
yeah.
even though that's literally impossible.
Well, it,
Can't ever have a bad day.
yeah.
Have to continuously be 1% better every day.
Yeah. Well, there is a other notable case I kind of touched on at the beginning. Winn-Dixie and
Yeah.
Dow Chemical. They made
Mm,
similar mass corporate-owned life insurance purchases. Um, some of these companies, though, like Winn-Dixie, I believe, dropped the practice under pressure from like, any sort of legal issue and stuff like that. So I think it was one of those where they were like, "Hey, this is a good idea," and they started getting caught, and they're like, "Ooh,
aren't they the cups?
thank you,
Is that what
thank
I'm
you."
thinking of?
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. That's what I thought. I could not remember. Thank you. That helps me
Yeah.
out so much. Thank you. But anyway,
The
um,
cup company.
well, I mean, how many people make those fucking cups?
I know, yeah. In
I mean,
dangerous factories too.
yeah. But the
I don't
thing
know how
is,
dangerous it is.
well, I mean, I guess they're all relatively dangerous to some extent if you're working in any sort of factory, even if it's like a high-tech Amazon, distribution center or something, you're probably still at risk for something.
Yeah. Right.
Um, but they really caved under pressure, the Winn-Dixie and the Dow Chemical, under banks and other insurers. They started filing, like those people started actually filing lawsuits arguing that they misused employees' identity. And they kept getting presented questions about, their consent with any of the cash that was being, gone through. So that was a little bit better, but I think that was a pretty early case. Like in the with the Winn-Dixie, I want to say it was pretty early, like in the late 80s or 90s. So it might have been one of those
Yeah.
like, hey, we're not using this for employees, we're using this for, high up corporate level executives and
Right.
stuff like that. So let's talk about a little bit of this legal and ethical implication.
Yeah.
Is it, Sarah, do you think it's legal?
I would say there's probably not a law against it.
Supposedly, it has been illegal since 2006, but we've just proven that
Really? It
wrong
is
with that,
illegal?
supposedly. But
Like federally?
I believe so because it was imposed by the Pension Act of 2006.
Hmm.
So I'm
Okay.
assuming, yes, it is a federal thing. I don't
Oh
think it's
wow.
a state by state thing. But yet, that article that I brought up in 2010 proves this
Right.
otherwise.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, they're still
yes.
doing it.
Well, that's what I'm
I didn't know there
saying.
was a law.
Yeah,
That's good there's a law.
there is a law, and like I said, it is the Pension Protection Act of 2006. It imposed a couple rules. Employees must receive written notice of any policies put in their name. They must also give written consent even after they've been terminated. If anything is put in their name, they have to sign a copy saying, yes, I consent to you having blah, 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 blah. And the coverage is restricted to top out at 35%. So they're not even going to get the full policy if somebody were to pass away. You're going to get 35% of that, you know. So practically these companies have to be quote unquote transparent. But that act did help out a lot because it kind of marked the end of like the secretive side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem is there's a lot of loopholes that we talked about. You know, like we have these things where they're not called corporate owned life insurance. It's called like the associate benefit program or the any name they can come up with it, saying that like, oh yeah, well this money is going into this and you have to sign up because this is going to go to help whatever for,
Right.
you know what I mean? And then so right off the bat you're signing something, so we checked one of the boxes, you've received a written notice that you signed, and the only thing that we can't confirm is that the coverage is restricted to top 35%. So they've already checked two of the blocks off of the Pension Protection Act if they do something like that. You know what I mean?
I can't believe they don't have to call it the corporate owned life insurance though.
Well, I hate to sound conspiratorial, Sarah, but the federal government probably doesn't really give a shit because they're probably getting some money from this too. If we're being real. You know
they
what I
probably
mean?
have a policy on every single American or something.
Probably. In all honesty, well, see, and this is the funny thing. This is the episode that's going to get us shut down, Sarah, because we're exposing the lies.
I know.
Not talking about Bigfoot or not talking about aliens. You know, this next thing you know, we're going to get a knock at the door and be like, "Hey,
yeah,
heard
you
this
can't
podcast. Can't be telling nobody about this. We need you to shut up, or you're going to be buried in the desert somewhere."
Yeah.
So there was a lot of public reaction and surprise from finding out about this. The actual term "dead peasant" hit the public. Everybody loves Michael Moore. He had a movie, Capitalism, a love story in reference to Walmart's corporate life insurance policies. So that was like really the first time I think people kind of started to hear about this. I don't think, though, that people really paid a whole lot of mind to it because he was a pretty prolific figure. Like you either like loved him or hated him, and it was like 50%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of people were probably sitting there like, oh, Michael Moore, yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Or they were like, hell yeah,
Right.
this guy's on it. You know what I mean? And that's usually how it seems with most of these like real world conspiracy theories that actually happen. You know?
Right. Yeah. You either totally believe it or you don't at all.
Yeah. But
like the birds.
Hey, the birds aren't fucking real, man. Those fucking ostriches are goddamn. What are those AT-ATs from no, that's not right. What's the damn the chicken walker from Star Wars? That's what they are. That's what the fucking ostriches are.
Yeah. How do you think they filmed it?
That's true. Hey, listeners, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, scroll down a little bit and check out the Birds Aren't Real episode. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But that was really the first time that dead peasant term got used, and it was the first time that like families started realizing that deceased employees had policies taken out on them. You know, you start to see documentaries like that. They would have no idea that their loved ones were insured, you know, through corporate offers. And a lot of these people felt like it was owed to them and their family, not to the fucking corporation. But then you get into this slippery slope of like, well, you didn't pay for the life insurance policy. Like, you're not the beneficiary. You know, if you paid for a life insurance policy, let's say on the big end of, I don't know, they had an older employee that was maybe 45, 50, and they had to pay on it for 15 years, and he died. Well, You know,
Right.
you
They
didn't
did
pay
put the
on it.
money into it,
They
right?
did put the money into it, but it's still very, 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 very unethical because the families actually use
Yeah.
that life insurance policy for any sort of funeral arrangements, any sort of um, unused debt that the deceased might have. You know, there's multiple different things that you have to
Right.
have in place when a loved one dies. You know, it's not just like you're not just it's not like these guys where, you know, it's like, oh man, you know, somebody died. Now I've got to, you know, I'm going to get $500,000 for a life insurance policy. I'm not making money. I'm using it all for every funeral expense, every debt
Right.
or
Yeah.
whatever the individual had. These motherfuckers are just putting it in their pocket, you know?
Yeah. It's just pure profit. That's what fucking pisses me off.
Yeah,
Like,
tax free pure profit.
yeah, as if
That's
they
the
need
most
more.
fucked up.
Like,
Well, and see, that's the thing. It gets into that, like, it's a really shitty. Well, I'll take that back. I'll play devil's advocate for a second. It's always good because I think ambition is like one of those double-edged swords of human quality. Because without ambition, no, nothing gets done. But ambition going out of control is what makes this fucking shit happen.
right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's like the old emperors of Rome. You know what I mean? Like they would just go and fucking wreck shop just because they wanted to have a war under their belt, you know, just out of nowhere. Like, oh yeah, my grandpa did this and now there's nobody to fight. So, hey, let's just go fuck that village up real quick so I can,
Right.
you know, say I did something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think with a lot of human characteristics, you have extremes on both sides, you know, and you have this sort of greed and ambition at people at these top levels of these companies that there's never enough. You know, you can't say that they already have enough because I mean, yeah, you can think that, but they're never going to think that. They're always going to be wanting more and more and more, and they don't care how they get it.
Right. Yeah. They don't care. And they
And
think they're like invincible.
well,
Like
to
when
some
you, some of them, when you get so high up there.
well, to some extent they really are. I mean, you got to think how many
Yeah.
friends they have. How many, you know, how many judges are they friends with? How many federal employees? How many federal, you know, representatives are they friends? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it,
Politicians and yeah.
yeah, it gets to that point where, you know, the dirty part about politics of the whole like, oh, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Well, who's paying for these politicians to do these things? It's corporations. It's
Yeah.
non-government organizations that are giving out these ridiculous amounts of money to do certain things. And I think this is just like the tip of the iceberg of how they get some of that cash.
Right. Yeah.
And
They're
this,
using cash from us, from people dying,
yeah.
to fund this bullshit.
Well, and that's what I think freaks me out more than anything because like the first few ones we talked or the second few ones we talked about, you know, like the Camelot music and you know the Winn-Dixie stuff, like we're talking a few thousand people, not a whole lot. You know,
Right.
it's nothing crazy. And hell, Winn-Dixie even, you know, stopped it. So good on them for, you know, being a piece of shit at first, but at least
Yeah.
supposedly stopping it. But that one from Walmart with the 350,000 employees,
Yeah.
dude, that like blew me away.
That's insane. I mean, how many now do they have? Like, they probably have.
It's gotta be at least that, if
Right.
not more. I
Yeah.
would assume more, you know,
I would
and,
think more. Yeah.
and, and the worst part about it is Walmart is everywhere. How many people, you know, work at Walmart? How, like, across, because Walmart even goes across, you know, international. You have Walmarts in other countries, but just in the United States, there has to be millions of people that work for Walmart.
Or have worked for them.
Or yeah, or have like, and that's the thing
Yeah.
that kind of freaked me out even more. It's like even if you don't work for the company anymore, if they pull a life insurance policy out on you, there's no way you're gonna know. There's
Right.
you're just they're just gonna have it, and all they're waiting for you is to get in a car accident, fall down somewhere, have a heart attack, and next thing you know, they're getting, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for your death, tax free. So I don't know, man. It's one of those that like really freaked me out. I really want to watch that Michael Moore documentary on it to kind of get a little bit more information. I didn't have the time to actually get to it, but I feel like I wasn't a huge fan of him, and I don't think I really am either.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, okay. He's the guy that did the what was that big one he did? Fahrenheit 9/11.
Oh, I don't think I watched that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I will, to his credit, he is very good at getting a lot of information, but he is extremely biased. That's the only thing I kind of don't like about it. It's, at least in my opinion. Now, listeners, you might not think the same, but it's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. So,
yeah.
So, just to kind of do a little bit of a recap, the corporate-owned life insurance or dead peasant insurance lets corporations insure and profit off employee deaths, mostly targeting lower-level employees such as cashiers, janitors, people that have known health conditions, that are morbidly obese. Like, I think that's what freaks me out more than anything, is like deliberate targeting.
Right, yeah. Especially the lowest people, like you're paying them the worst typically, like, and you're gonna make profit off of their death, and you're targeting people who are gonna die sooner, so you don't have to pay as much. Like,
yeah.
Pay them more at least then, or something. I don't know. This is pretty bad.
I don't think paying them any more for doing bullshit like this would be any better. I think you should just not fucking do that. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think you should be able to do that.
You definitely shouldn't.
At all. Not even with consent. Like, not at all.
Well, it'd be one thing if there was a purpose behind it. There is zero purpose behind it. Like, me having life insurance on a loved one makes sense. I will not have the money, most likely, in the event of somebody's untimely death to pay for everything. I won't. I don't think most people do. But if I have life insurance, I'm covered. I will not go into debt. I will not have to take out some crazy, stupid, high-interest loan to pay for a funeral. I won't have to make payments on it. You know what I mean? I've been paying the life insurance policy for however many years, and I'm good. This is just, like I said earlier, just profit, hedging bets, risk reward.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I guarantee you there's been corporate meetings, probably hundreds of thousands of them, of some dude up there with a fucking pie chart and a spreadsheet and a Venn diagram talking about who we need to, start in pulling these corporate life insurance policies out on. I guarantee you plenty of meetings that have gone on like that, and probably still do.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
And the bad thing about it, just to recap again, and I don't know how they would go about this, but listeners of this show, if you are listening to this, the legal loopholes and the smart accounting from these companies are what makes it profitable. So, like, don't just sign your name to something if you start a new fucking job. Like, actually read it, even if it's 15 pages fucking long. You know what I mean? And to be fair, I'm 100% guilty of that. I've been like, I'm not reading this fucking shit. Cool, whatever. I could very well have a couple life insurance policies out on me for different corporations. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Yeah, I could too.
Yeah. So,
I demand to see what I signed. I can look again.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out, and I'm sure it's company by company, but I'm sure that you can do that very easily. But you just got to know what to ask for. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been thinking about it for a while. I was trying to figure out the best way to word it to my HR team. Be like, hey, what's up with that corporate life insurance on me?
Right.
What you motherfuckers doing?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, word it just like that.
I have a couple theories, and we kind of already talked about a few of these as to why this is kind of ongoing, because it clearly is. I don't think it's something that stopped in 2006 with the Pension Protection Act. I don't think that stopped it at all. They just found different loopholes to get around it. First one we kind of already talked about. People in these positions of power, they just want more money, they want more power, and they want more influence. That's an easy way to get a super cash grab, tax-free, money in my pocket. You know, that one really kind of makes the most sense to me. And we kind of touched on the second one that I have of a little bit more nefarious things, because like these companies do go to these fundraisers for a lot of these federal employees, a lot of these political figures, a lot of, you know, government organizations and stuff like that, because, you know, money talks, and the more that you give a certain person or a certain party, I'm not trying to get political, I don't care which way people lean here, but these corporations paying people money will influence their decision making. It 100% will do that, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless. And that one, I think those two kind of go hand in hand. I kind of split them up into two different theories, but I really, really think that's what it is. I think that's what people are doing this for more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. Just might as well get more money where you can. They always have to show a profit too. I mean, does this get in there like what's it called? Like their call, like the earnings call?
Well, so here's
Or
the
is
thing
this
with
like
that.
under the like table?
Here's the thing. These policies do not have to be taken out by the company. They can be taken out by individuals.
Even if it's made out to like Walmart, then
I don't think it's that cut and dry. I think what's happening here, I think that does happen too. And I'm sure there is some sort of like profit loss document that they go over and that is trackable and stuff like that. But I've never seen it outright said. But
yeah.
One of the sentences that got me when I was first doing this is anyone can pull a life insurance policy on anybody as long as they have that information. So to go a little bit conspiratorial here, if individuals at the corporate director, VP level, individuals are just taking out a life insurance policy, not through the company, but they're colluding together in groups to make money, that makes a lot of sense too. They're not doing it through the corporation. You know, I feel like it would be a little, I don't know what the legal ramification would be, because once again, if you have the information, you can do it, but I feel like it's a lot more immoral to do it individually than through a faceless company. You know what I mean? Because that means you're 100% just in it for the profit.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that was, I'm happy you kind of touched on it in the beginning of the episode. I mean, what would stop these people if they wanted to end your life early? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're like, man, we've been paying on this motherfucker for 15 years, still hasn't died. Hey, Larry, go out to his car, cut his brake lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, let's
Like,
stage an accident. But then they have to pay the like accidental death at work or whatever.
Well, what if it's not at work? That's
Right,
where
yeah, if
that's
it's
what
not
I'm
at
getting
work,
into.
then-
Yeah.
Right.
That's the part that I don't think, the listeners, I don't think people are going out and putting hits out on people. I'm just being conspiratorial here. Okay? This is the fun part of the episode where we talk shit. Okay? This is not something I truly believe. I want to put that out there right now. But if I happen to die, I didn't kill myself. Okay. Get that out of there too.
Yeah, me too. Same thing here.
Zero. No, nobody on this episode between Sarah and I have any plans of ending our life. I promise. So if it happens, you can go talk to these major corporations. Anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these people, like you said, they think they're invincible. They think they can do whatever the fuck they want because they have been doing whatever the fuck they want. There could
Yeah.
be a meeting where stage it's like, hey, Larry, man, we've been paying on this dude for 15 years. I need something to happen to him. Make it look like an accident. Oh, don't worry, man. I got a dude named Rob. He does this all the time. Boom.
I mean, stranger things have happened, so that's
well,
not like that crazy to
it's
think.
not. And you got to think, when we did the episode on Victoria Goodwin, she was only going to pay that hitman like $12,000.
Right, yeah.
So
And what is that to the company?
clearly, it's super cheap to hire a hitman.
Right.
The company is going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. What's $10,000 to hire some random dude? You know what I mean? Like, I was sitting thinking about this last night at work, and I was just like, there are so many goddamn rabbit holes I could go down with this right now as to why they would fucking do this and how they would do this. This is not like, it was freaking me out. And I was just like, the fact that there's obviously zero empathy. They don't give a fuck based on what we've seen here, just from pulling out these insurance policies. There is no reason why these people would not just be like, yeah, I'm done paying for this. Go get rid of them. Stage an accident.
Yeah. Time to cash in. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, better yet, we got 2 of our employees that are going across the country on vacation this week. Go ahead and do a 2-for-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I mean, I hate to say it, but people die every single day, and most of the time, it just is something that happens. You know what I mean? Right. You have a car accident, you fall and hit your head. Like, I'm not saying that it's easy to murder someone or put a hit out on somebody, but people are still being investigated for murders that they cannot find the murderer. So, yeah. I don't think it's impossible to get away with it either. So.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And they have more resources to make it happen.
A lot more resources. A lot more power, a lot more influence, a lot more money. I feel like it's not that big of a deal.
No. We're just cattle.
100%. 100% for the...
Oh, my God.
Sorry to ruin your day, Sarah.
Yeah, now I'm going to be sitting thinking at night about this.
It's bad, man. Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Listeners, full disclosure, we talked a little bit last week about this, and Sarah was kind of fucking laughing about it. And I think one of the reasons why you're not so chatty is because you're pissed off about it and not wanting to know. Like,
no, I see the reality, and I'm like, oh my God. This is probably everywhere.
100%, man.
I got to talk to my HR.
Right. Listeners, respectfully and smartly go about talking about this. You know what I mean? Because, you might land in some hot water with some
That's true. They might take you out if you ask too much.
Yeah. And once again, or best case scenario, more likely scenario, they'll just fire you and still have a life insurance policy on you.
Yeah, that's true.
So, nothing you can do about it.
No. I'm going to break into their files and delete it.
Let's not do that.
No, I don't have the resources for that. I'm not a corporation. I can't do things like that.
Well, same as last week episode, or with the dream, or not with dreams, when we were talking about, any of the GoFundMe, because Sarah likes, I liked it with the dream one, where you said we need a GoFundMe for ice cream and any dairy. That way you can get some more. Set up a GoFundMe so we can become a major corporation and pull life insurance policies out on all of you guys, because that's, what you do. So.
On all of you guys, yeah.
Yeah, just whenever...
we'll do it on the CEOs of the other companies. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, but it'd be
we don't have their information.
We could probably get it, but not worth it.
Yeah.
So, anybody listening to this, we're totally joking towards the end of this. We're not planning on doing anything anywhere close to what these fucking assholes are doing. We're just here talking about our...
or money.
Yeah.
Or desire, yeah.
We are just two unexperts on a podcast talking about stuff we don't kind of know about. That's the best way I'm going to put it.
Yeah. Just make it sound like good.
Yeah. Hey, confidence is better than competence, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, listeners, that's going to wrap up the Dead Peasants episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As per usual, whatever you're listening to this on, give it a like, give it a share. If you're listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, whatever, be sure to write us a review. Anywhere else you're seeing this, interact with it any way you can. Check out the Patreon, Paranoid Perspective Podcast /patreon.com. Got some extra perks over there for you guys as well. And as always,
Remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not watching. See you next time on The Paranoid Perspective.